Hello and welcome to another edition of East of Ethnia. I want to talk to you this week about the recent elections for the presidency of the Republika Srpska, the smaller of the two main entities in Bosnia and Herzegovina. These elections were held by force because the previous president, Milorad Dodik, had been removed from office as a consequence of violations of the law. His removal from office also came with a ban on holding political office for 6 years and a ban on being the head of a political party. So he was replaced as president by the Parliament of Republika Srpska. Earlier this year, a temporary person was put in, and her term has now ended, and elections were called. So these elections were called pitting the chosen successor of Dodik from his party, which ironically enough is called the Alliance of Independent Social Democrats, uh, against a strong opposition party from the Serbian Democratic Party, and the results are a little bit interesting. The first thing that I'd point out is that the turnout was very low. Altogether, the turnout in the election was about 36%, so very low for a presidential election, particularly for a pretty bitterly fought one that involved a lot of controversy. Second, the difference between the candidates from the results that we have was very, very small. The uh, um, the candidate Branko Balan from Dodik's party did receive a majority of just slightly over 50%, less than 2% ahead of the main opposition candidate, which is a very narrow margin if you consider just how many resources the governing party has, how much energy was put into it, and how much electoral fraud this party is able to control, doing things like calling upon votes of favors, handing people ballots that are already filled, vote buying, and the rest of those things. And if you look at the results more closely, you'll find there are not that many larger cities in Republika Srpska. It's a small territory. But in every urban area in Republika Srpska, Dodik's party lost. And the margin of difference between the two candidates at the level of the entity was about 12,000 votes. The margin of loss for the governing party in the city of Banja Luka was 10,000 votes. In the city of Bijeljina, it was 13,000 votes. That is to say, that these big, big losses in the urban areas were compensated by big majorities in the rural areas, a result that is probably not all of that sustainable. Will the result be sustained, and will the person who has declared himself the winner of the election become the president? We don't know this either. The results that we have are not final. There are three places in which the Electoral Commission has ordered that the election be repeated because of irregularities in the elections. There are many more irregularities reported, and with the low turnout, this also leads to a contested result for the elections. But what can we conclude on the basis of what we've seen and what we know so far? First of all, you see very, very strong claims by Dodik and his party to be representing the unified will of the ethnic group that they claim to represent. But they have never really won by large margins. They have been winning generally in recent elections. This is their smallest margin ever. They may still be able to bring forward a majority, but it is hardly a plebiscitary majority. Meanwhile, Dodik, he has been interpreting the results and promoting it as kind of a rejuvenation of his political career, an affirmation of his popularity. I think even he is probably not so certain about that. It seems that Dodik is probably less popular in Republika Srpska, where he is contesting political office, than in Serbia, where he's often brought forward as a symbol of national pride, resistance, whatever you may want to call it. I think that after a result like this, we're not likely to see Dodik's political career revived. He would be well advised to go to Serbia, where he's more popular, and in any case, that's where his money is. Thanks for your time and attention. We'll talk to you in another week or so.